Hello friends, I am Hemant Gawade from CSM Arts and Commerce College Sakan. Today we will discuss commercial influence on the employability and production. In this session, we will focus on how the employment is adversely affected due to COVID-19 and non-COVID factors. Before starting my session, I would like to thank all the organizing committee members for giving me this opportunity to share my views on this 1 week online workshop on environmental and ecological perspective in current scenario. I am very much thankful to the management council members and authorities of Rayat Shikshan Sanstha and Balwant College Vita. I am especially thankful to Principal Dr. Khilare, Professor Kalekar, Dr. Tapase, Dr. Shreya Patil, Dr. Sardate, Professor Chile, Dr. Sasane, Rathod sir, Baswan sir, Savan madam and Dhumal madam. I am also thankful to all the technical and administrative staff and the faculty members from Department of Chemistry, Commerce and Management. I am thankful to Professor Shah from Modern College Pune for inviting me for this 1 week workshop. Economy is facing deep recession. People are losing jobs. Things are becoming worse day by day. So in this small session, I have tried to cover few important aspects related to employability.
Yes, we require people everywhere for the work. It is said that organization is not made up of building. It is made up of people. So everywhere, the human resource or the employees which are working in the organization are treated as the most valuable asset of any business organization. The organization has to see that right people or right employees are working and they are working at the right time and they have assigned right job. Now, what has impacted on the employability of the people? Is it just a COVID-19 factor, or there are some other factors which are responsible for the adverse effect on the employability? We all know that since few years we are experiencing recession. At the same time, the economy or the country was impacted due to COVID-19, and since then we are facing issues of the employability. Each and everything was not just okay before COVID-19. Even there were some sectors which were experiencing bad phase before COVID-19. Now, what was the scenario before COVID-19? The demonetization was introduced before a year and a half, where if you want to have business transaction, it was expected that you will use more and more digital payment. Now there were small businessmen, shopkeepers, SSI, which were not familiar of all these things. They couldn't adopt with the technology of digital modes of payment and they have to wind up their businesses. After demonetization, the GST was introduced. The main problem with GST was the rate of GST varies from 0% to 28%. Again, depending on the mode of the transaction, the CGST, SGST, UTGST is applied. Now it was very impossible for the small businessmen, shopkeepers, hawkers, traders to cope up with all these things or to hire the expert for all such calculation and tax filing. Hence, due to demonetization GST, it adversely impacted on the businessmen. They have to wind up their businesses and hence indirectly it affected on the employment. We know that the technology keeps changing every now and then. There is automation, machines are replacing men, technology is replacing men. So again, it adds to the unemployment. We have heard about machine learning. We are also familiar about artificial intelligence. So this machine learning and artificial intelligence is capable of many activities that a labor or employee or human being is capable to do. So again adding to the unemployment. This machine learning, technological advancement, or all these things are proving to be a threat to the employment. Let us see an example that how this technology or machine learning or artificial intelligence can be a serious threat to the employment. Now I go to Google's website and voice type Tata Ultras. I just voice type and it takes me to the search result. I go to the website. Now without going to showroom, I can get the details and the view of the car in the website itself. I click 360-degree view. So by clicking here 360 and colors, I can get the view of the car. I can change the colors and I can get the entire idea how the car looks from inside and outside. Now when I hit that chatbot, it is a computerized process. It asks whether I required a test drive. It asks for my name. Now it asks for my mobile number. It asks for model. It asks for features I want. It asks for mail ID. And finally, it gives me an option for book now. Now let us see a small example where there is a threat to the employment of a typist and a translator. I go to Google Docs and in that I go to Tools and Voice Typing. I press click to speak. Communication is process of sharing the ideas. Now Google has typed for me. Now if I go to Google Translate and I type translate from English to Marathi, and if I paste the content over here, it can translate in any language I want. Now we have seen how technology has adversely affected on the employment. Let us see how COVID-19 has affected on the employment. Now we know that many Indians are working overseas. We are also aware about the international environment. US has tightened H-1B visa norms. Our country is greatly dependent on service sector, especially for the services of BPOs and KPOs that has been outsourced by US and UK to the India. In Pune and Bangalore, we may see many BPOs and KPOs. Now the pandemic affected almost each and every country. As the same situation was in US and UK, the work process was stopped and so it adversely impacted on the functioning of BPOs and KPOs in India also, leading to the employment loss. Again, as the work process was halted in US and UK, there were some projects or some contracts which were supposed to be renewed in the month of March, but the same project due to pandemic situation wasn't renewed by US UK countries. Again, it affected on Indian economy. Now let's discuss that the work which we do in BPOs and KPO, that is outsourced, due to rising unemployment, countries like US decided to stop this outsourcing and assign the same work their own citizens. The unemployment was rising in US also. US was worstly hit due to pandemic of COVID-19. More than 16% employees in US lost their job. It has been said that every sixth person in US has lost their job after the lockdown. Industries are very seriously thinking on cost cutting. They have already retrenched many employees and people are facing issues of pay cut for their job. Now, what was the scenario after COVID-19? As we know, government has issued the direction that the production process and factories will not be functioning. So the factories were closed. Now there is restriction on movement of the people and the transportation. So neither the goods can be transported, public services of transportations are not available, and people are restricted to move. Now the production process due to people and raw material is totally halted. And there are some industries which greatly depend on migrant labor. Now, you might have seen this particular photograph of Bandra railway station where the rumor was spread that the train services may resume on 15. So we can get the ideas that how much our industry is dependent on the migrated labor. Now, what was the impact of COVID-19 on the employment? Now, as far as employment is concerned, the employment rate rises to 23.4%. According to report of Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, that is CMIE, the urban unemployment rate became almost 31%, and if we consider overall urban and rural, that rate become 23.4%. So as per the CMI's statistics, unemployment shot up from 8.4% to 23% in mid-March. According to Pranab Sen, who is the former chief statistician of India, on some rough calculation, he says that about 50 million people might have lost the job only in just 2 weeks after the lockdown was implemented. The condition is not very good in US also. It is estimated that approximately 10 million US workers have filed unemployment claims in past fortnight. Now let us see some employment risk figures. The survey was conducted by CII, and as per the CII surveys, they surveyed 200 CEOs of different companies. So out of 200 CEO surveys, 52% CEO says that they foresees a job loss in their respective sectors. Out of 200 CEOs, 47% CEO says that the job cut might be less than 15%, and 32% expect that this particular job loss due to lockdown and impact of COVID-19 might be 15 to 30%. If we consider the data of KPMG, which is a global think tank, the risk of job in different sectors is as under. As far as tourism is concerned, tourism industry might have severe impact, and 38 million or 70% jobs are at risk due to this COVID situation. If we consider the entire textile chain, 10 million jobs might be at risk. This may continue if government do not take any steps or it do not declares a stimulus package. Now, as far as casual workers are concerned, there is huge size of these casual workers, unwritten contract, and self-employed areas. Now, it has been said that 136 million jobs, extreme risk due to this COVID impact. Let us move forward. Now, as far as this informal worker is concerned, as per a period of labor force survey 2017-18, informal workers working in different sectors are in manufacturing, the proportion is 76% of informal workers. In financial services, there are 50% informal workers. In public sector, there are 55% workers who are informal. Now, what was the impact of COVID-19 on agriculture? Now, the debts, loans with the farmers were rising day by day. Due to COVID-19, government restriction, transport problems, farmers were unable to harvest their crops. Even if the crops were ready, farmers were unable to reach or take those crops to the market in time. Now, this rising unemployment resulted in reduced income of the farmers and loss of employment in farming activity to the farm laborers. Now, what policies industries are thinking to cope up with this? As if now, industries are very seriously thinking of three decisions. Industries, for cost cutting, has started retrenching the people from the job. Industries are also asking people to go on indefinite leave without pay. Even in some sectors, the salaries of employee is cut as much as 85%. It is very difficult to retain job in service industry or especially IT sector. Now what can be the future? As per the prediction of Goldman Sachs and World Bank, the predictions are as under. It has been expected that the growth of world economy might be negative up to 3%. As far as Indian economy is concerned, the Indian economy may have a growth rate of merely 1.5 to 1.6%. Now, how the economy is going to recover from this severe stage? Now, there are many possible ways of recovery. In economics, the recovery can be understood in different forms or shape, which is usually V shape, U shape, and L shape. Now, a V shape recovery means that within a period of 2 months to 6 months, the country or the economy can gain the economic growth and it can recover from the situation fast. In U shape, the economy goes down, it takes some time to recover and slowly it starts moving up. The worst condition is L-shaped type of recovery where the economic growth goes down, it remains down for a very long period and slowly it starts coming up. So there might be a V shape, U shape or L shape recovery. As far as experts are concerned, experts believe that Indian economy may face a U-shaped scenario and within a period of 1 year to 2 years or within a period of 6 months to few years, we may be able to recover. Now, how to overcome from this? Though government may take some decisions, some policies might be implemented, but on individual level, if we want to retain the job, there can be some strategies. Let us see one by one. Now we know that the person who will be having multi skills may survive. As we experience in bank, there are many officers who are working to the loan department. Sometimes they are working as cashier. Sometimes they are working in accounts department likewise. So if we are having that multi skills, there is a great possibility for retaining the job. Again, whatever skills we should have, we should develop those particular skills day by day. Most important that whatever we have learned yesterday become absolute due to the technology. So we have to adopt the technology and there should be a technological advancement. We should learn new ways or new methods of doing the work with the help of technology. We might have heard the word of work from home. In future, we may have work from anywhere. So whatever will be the business model, we have to adopt the business and we have to change ourselves accordingly if we want to sustain. Now there is a beautiful concept in marketing that is USP, unique selling proposition. What additional skills over and above others person have or the employee have. If we are having some additional skill set or some additional things over above, definitely we will survive. Otherwise, if we are having similar skills with others, we may face the issue of unemployment. Even being a teacher, we should have some USP. We should have that multitasking ability. We should be capable of handling many activities and committees if we want to sustain. Now, industries are recruiting people. Industry or the organization must think that this particular employee is beneficial to the organization so that his employment can be protected by the industry. The organization must think the employee recruited in the organization is asset to the organization and is not liability. So what out of the box offering the employee is giving to the company, that is more important. Last and most important, company always thinks about the profit. It always thinks about ROI, that is return on investment. If company is paying payment, it always expect services in return. So if the best or the fittest will survive, the employee who is capable of doing many things at the same time in better manner will survive and others will not. So these are the different references. These are the web articles and reports for this presentation. I'm thankful to you for your patience listening. If you have any doubts, suggestions, or queries, you may contact me on my details.